I've been trying to keep my mouth closed. I really have. Because I try to be positive and look for the good and stuff, but when you're constantly getting messages and constantly getting texts about information, it's so hard to get quiet. I mean, to stay quiet. But I just went in the Dollar General to get some water balloons for my grandson. And I come out, I was looking, at the little clearance table they got, because they might have something I really need. That's why I stay away from yard sales. Anyway, and there's a guy in there sleeping in a chair with his little bike in front of him. And it just makes me sad because it's 2 p.m. and he's just sleeping, probably because he didn't sleep none last night because he's homeless. And he is just sleeping until it's time for him to go get his next meal. Sad. When you enable people and constantly give to them and make them dependent upon you, you're not helping them out. You're making them dependent upon you. Everybody deserves to have a better life. And if you were just living, not even living, existing for 2 meals a day, that's not a life. Sad. So I hate seeing stuff like that. But y'all keep giving y'all's money, because they ain't getting a penny from me. And while we're on the subject, I know people are going to comment and be like, you can't make people get help. You can't make people get help. Yeah, but we can enforce laws. And if you're where you don't need to be, or you're constantly getting arrested, then you should be in jail. Maybe if there were some consequences to people's actions, maybe they'd be more willing to change their life. But if they don't have a reason to change, they don't do anything wrong with it. Maybe legislation needs to change. Because I know everybody knows my history. If you've followed me for a while and if you've read my book, you know what I've been through. And it was hard when you're trying to get help for somebody and everybody's telling you they're an adult. They're an adult. They got stuff in their system and they're not thinking with the best brain. So why shouldn't we be able to make decisions for them? And if they want to stay on their path, go to jail. Go to jail. You can sit there until you decide to change. I think it would work. But just giving people free passes and free meals, it's not working. It's getting worse. Now I'm going to play with some water balloons. So I recorded that video yesterday. I'm really trying to do better with not doing things out of emotion, like really taking the time to think through stuff. I know people are going to comment and be like, what's your solution? There's no easy answer for that. I want to start the 421 Homeless Coalition. I think we need to get together and talk about possible solutions for this issue. I think toxic charity needs to go away. I think the Aiken County Sheriff's Office is doing all they can do. We have a huge police presence in the valley. I think the judges need to do better at giving consequences for people's actions. If you own land and you don't live in Aiken County, you should be held accountable for what goes on your land. Like, I get you want to buy land and let it sit and let the value grow. That's great. But you should not be allowed to just let whatever happens on that property. All the trash that's there is going into our land, our drinking water. So I think code enforcement needs to hold those people accountable for what's going on their property. People who have been brought into our area or dropped off by other places, they need to go back home. We need to take care of our own. If you are not from the valley, then you shouldn't be here to drain our resources and trash our land. I have talked to people who own land and rent properties previously in the area, but I think some type of tiny housing or something's got to happen so we can give people an affordable place to live. Not give. They need to work for it. There needs to be accountability. If you're not ready for that, then you need to follow the laws. You just can't go into somebody's backyard and say, oh, this is where I'm going to live. No, it doesn't work like that. But if you want to help, if you want to join the 421 Homeless Coalition, send me a message, because we can make this issue better for our community. And I know homelessness is rampant all around the United States, but I'm not worried about that. That's a negative mindset to have. I'm worried about my community and making it better for my kids and my grandson. That's my focus. Have a great day.